What if I told you that one simple habit is silently draining your energy, crushing your confidence, and keeping you stuck in life? You feel exhausted, unmotivated, and trapped in a cycle that seems impossible to break. But what if the key to unshakable self-control and true masculinity has been right in front of you all along? Stick with me, because after this, you'll never see this habit the same way again. Mastering a topic nobody likes to discuss, but everyone deals with, is crucial. Some claim it's normal, harmless, even healthy. But have you ever questioned it? What if this so-called harmless habit is actually holding you back in ways you never imagined? The ancient Stoics, some of the greatest minds in history, knew something that modern society often chooses to ignore. They understood the power of discipline, the cost of chasing pleasure, and the secret to true self-mastery. Today, I'm going to share their wisdom with you, so you can break free, reclaim your power, and transform your life. The problem: why this habit is destroying you. Let's be honest, you've felt it. That sense of guilt. That lack of motivation after indulging in it. That emptiness, like something inside you is slipping away. But why? Science tells us that every time you engage in this habit, your brain releases a massive surge of dopamine, the pleasure chemical. Sounds good, right? Wrong. Because the more you indulge, the more your brain becomes addicted to easy, instant pleasure. And just like any addiction, the side effects start to appear. You feel drained, weak, unmotivated. Your drive to achieve real goals fades, because your brain has already been rewarded without you accomplishing anything. The Stoics recognized this long before modern science. They warned against overindulgence and the dangers of being ruled by base desires. But what exactly did they say? And how can you use their wisdom to break free? The Stoic wisdom, the trap of pleasure. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "No man is free who is a slave to his body." And that's exactly what happens when you let pleasure control you. Each time you give in to this habit, you reinforce a mindset of weakness. You convince yourself that you need this, when in reality, it's the one controlling you. Marcus Aurelius, the legendary Roman emperor, believed in mastering desires, not being enslaved by them. He knew that a man who cannot control himself will never experience true freedom. The more you seek pleasure, the more you become its prisoner. The more you chase instant gratification, the further you drift from lasting fulfillment. But here's the real truth: every great man in history, from warriors to visionaries, had one thing in common. They controlled their desires. They didn't let fleeting urges dictate their actions. And because of that, they reached heights that others could only dream of, while the rest remained enslaved to their impulses. The solution: how to break free and reclaim your power. So, how do you escape this trap? How do you regain control and break free from a habit that has been silently weakening you? The answer lies in 3 Stoic principles: self-discipline, purpose, and transmutation. 1. Self-discipline, the key to freedom. Epictetus once said, "No man is truly free who is not master of himself." And this is where it all begins. The moment you refuse to be a slave to your impulses is the moment you reclaim your strength. But self-discipline isn't about punishment, it's about choosing long-term success over short-term pleasure. Every time you resist the urge, you strengthen your mind. You build resilience. And over time, those urges lose their grip on you. 2. Find your purpose, replace the habit with something greater. The Stoics believed that a life without purpose is a wasted life. And this is why so many men struggle with this habit: they have nothing meaningful to direct their energy into. Think about it. If your mind is focused on building a business, perfecting a skill, or pursuing something meaningful, would you even have time for pointless indulgence? The secret is replacing the habit with something that genuinely fulfills you. 3. Transmutation, redirecting your energy. Ancient warriors, artists, and thinkers understood something most men today overlook. They knew that sexual energy is one of the most powerful forces within a man. And when that energy is wasted, so is his potential. But when it's redirected, when it's channeled into something productive, it becomes a driving force for greatness. Nikola Tesla, one of the most brilliant minds in history, stayed celibate his entire life because he understood this principle. He knew that by redirecting his energy, he could accomplish things that others could only dream of. And this is precisely what the Stoics taught. Instead of wasting energy on fleeting pleasure, convert it into motivation, ambition, and creativity. The climax: what happens when you quit? Picture this: waking up every morning with unshakable confidence. No guilt. No weakness. Just pure, limitless energy. Feeling more driven, more focused, and more in control than ever before. That's what happens when you break free. Your testosterone levels rise. Your mental clarity sharpens. Your ambition and willpower skyrocket. And most importantly, you regain power over your own mind. This is what the Stoics meant by true freedom. It's not just about quitting a habit, it's about becoming the man you were always meant to be. Conclusion: the final challenge. Now, ask yourself, will you remain trapped in this cycle, or will you take control? Will you keep allowing an empty habit to rob you of your potential, or will you rise above it? The choice is yours. But remember, no great man in history was ruled by his desires. The ones who shaped the world were those who mastered themselves first. If you're ready to break free, reclaim your power, and start living like a true Stoic, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Your journey to self-mastery starts now.